Hi, Sharks. I'm Steve Abrams.
And I'm Olivia Abrams. We're a father-daughter duo from upstate New York.
We're here today seeking a bite-sized investment of $250,000 for 10% of our company, TickMitt,
where we're not afraid to tick off ticks. Sharks. Ticks are small, nasty bugs that can do a lot of harm. They carry potentially life-threatening diseases, including Lyme disease.
Before TickMitt, the only option for prevention was a bottle full of chemicals whose names you can't pronounce.
That's disgusting.
Or tweezers.
Ow!
But they're only good after they embed, and then you're playing Russian roulette with your health.
That's why we created TickMitt, the ultimate tick check accessory. It finds and removes even the tiniest ticks from yourself, your loved ones, and your pets before they embed and transmit diseases.
Just wipe TickMitt over your skin, your clothes, your pet's fur, and TickMitt will remove any loose ticks.
Then place TickMitt in the included dryer bag in the dryer on high heat for 10 minutes to kill the ticks, and TickMitt is ready to be used again.
With our big dogs, it was a challenge keeping ticks out of the house. But with TickMitt, I no longer have to worry about ticks hanging out on the couch with me watching Shark Tank.
Ew. TickMitt provides a simple solution for families to enjoy the outdoors safely. So Sharks, who wants to help us scale TickMitt worldwide and make every adventure worry-free? Those are your samples in front of you.
We are back with another Shark Tank breakdown reaction video. I am your host, Dave, dealing with everything. As you see, the shirts, patents, trademarks, copyrights, as well as trade secrets. And this is an interesting one. This is very interesting one. Before I get to that, hey, this is Mark Cuban's last season on Shark Tank. So hopefully he gets involved. I know on the last one with the Devil Egg Company, he did a deal with Barber. So let's see if he gets involved with this one as well. Although I'm not sure if TickMitt is going to be his thing. The three things plus the bonus that I look for is how simple is it? It looks pretty simple. How effective is it? $2 million valuation. I would imagine that they have some sales. So we'll see what that is once the Sharks ask some more. Mr. Wonderful asks about the sales. A lot of times you can see the effectiveness of the product based on the reviews as well. And what's the market like? It seems like this is a wide open market according that based on what they've said. Only, and again, I haven't had a dog in a long time, but it seems like the way that you get ticks from removed from the actual dog right now is kind of through chemicals. So to the extent that you can do this, it can be a complete kind of revamping, or it can be good for the business owner as well as the consumer, to the extent that this is effective and it allows you to prevent or avoid having to use chemicals. Then last but not least is, are they protecting their intellectual property? They actually do have a trademark on TickMitt, which is cool. We'll see if Lori kind of brings it up, because she's a typically the one that brings it up as far as IP patent protection. I can actually see this being actual not only a utility patent, but also maybe even a design patent on this one. So let's kind of be on the lookout for that to see whether or not they do have patent protection on the actual glove or the mitt, in addition to trademark protection that they do have on the actual name TickMitt. Now, one of the things, and you guys have to let me know to the extent that you have used this thing, let me know in the comment section. One thing that I'm interested in is, if I am putting this thing in a bag, I'm using it, I'm putting it in a bag, do I want this thing to go in my dryer? I'm not sure. I'm not kind of an expert on dryers or even washers for that matter, and whether or not these stuff can be kind of, somehow get on other subsequent loads that are in the dryer. I'm not sure. That's something that I came up with, or that I was thinking through in real time. As you said, hey, you kind of put it in the dryer and for however long at whatever setting, and then you can use it again. I love the fact that it is reusable. I do like that. So you don't have to kind of continuously buy this thing. Now, whether or not I want my dryer to include something with ticks in it, particularly if it hasn't been in the washer, I'm not sure. I would imagine that they did their homework, and it's all good to be able to do that. So these are some of my thoughts in real time. I don't watch these things ahead of time. I'm giving you guys my thoughts in real time. As I get back to the pitch, please hit that like button for the YouTube algorithm. Hit that subscribe button to be a part of the IP community, as well as go check out the ebook, Got IP, that's in the comments. Let's go.
We have 5 different colors.
How does such a soft fabric like this remove the ticks?
So it works on the theory of Velcro. Ticks are all hooks. This is a patented microfiber.
Basically,
There
the
you go.
loop sizes is what the patent is around. So if the loops are too big, the ticks don't get stuck in it. If they're too small, they can't get in at all. So it's designed to work on ticks that are, nymphs to adult and all different species.
How'd you even think that
Right.
that was a possibility?
So when I was 7 years old, I started having really bad arthritis in my knee. I couldn't walk, and eventually I got a really bad rash on my face, and no one could figure out what was wrong with me. And it wasn't until my dad said to the doctor, hey, we live in an area with ticks. I ended up testing positive for Lyme disease, went through about 6 months of physical therapy, and have made a really strong recovery because we caught it pretty early. And since then, we've always been really concerned about it.
So we started working with a tick scientist and a product engineer. And after 13 iterations, we came up with this product.
Isn't there like a pill that's supposed to repel them?
Yes. So the way that the pill works is actually an oral medication you give to your dog monthly. So if a tick does bite your dog, it means that your dog's not going to get sick. But again, it doesn't stop the ticks from coming into
So
your
the
home
tick is
or
still
getting into your
there.
car. Yes.
But can you do everything, right? I mean, don't most people just miss things? I mean, you can capture most of it, but how do you make sure you're comprehensive?
We've been working with a tick scientist, and
Yeah.
it picks up between 90 and 95%.
But
There's
I mean,
always
like-
a chance you're going to miss one. We're not
Yeah.
making that claim that you're getting 100%.
I never really wanted to know this much about ticks.
No,
Right,
it's
right.
horrifying.
But what we really want to know is there a business here?
Yes, there is a
Yes.
business. So we were recently at the Outdoor Retailer Trade Show, and on 137 submissions, we won Innovation Product of the Year.
Wow.
Congrats. Good
Thank
for
you.
you.
That has led to 70 conversations with big box stores.
Which means you're ready to talk about the business.
Yes.
That's right. So we've been in business 18 months. We've done 432,000 in sales,
Wow.
Good for you.
So what have you done year to date?
252 in this year.
You are the tick whisperer.
The tick chick.
What's your background?
I'm the classic entrepreneur, dropped out of college, started businesses. My last business was a business called Magnolia Bakery
Oh,
in
I
New York
know
City.
it.
One store and took it to 14 countries
Wow.
and then sold it.
Right next to Radio City Music Hall?
Yes.
That's it.
And I'm an only child to a family of entrepreneurs. And I went to school for entrepreneurship, worked in finance for a couple of years.
So and then you went tick crazy.
I was already a little bit tick crazy before that because of the Lyme disease.
Well, like a classic entrepreneur, in the back of my head is, that's a business one day.
Well, I wanted to go back to business, Steve, because I'm freaking out about your valuation. You're not worth $2.5 million. You
I
don't even
believe
make
we
any
are, I'll
money.
tell you why. We've already got our patent and our IP filed in Great Britain and EU. We're about to launch in 15 countries,
Was this utility patent that you were
Here.
saying?
and design.
Told you, baby. I know what I'm
you have
talking
to
about.
file in each country,
Yes.
and in each country, it's thousands and thousands of dollars.
Yes.
And then certain countries, it takes 20 years to get the patent.
Yes.
But patent
So-
pending gives you protection until you get it.
But patent pending doesn't technically give you any protection.
But what we found going to all of these shows, we've learned how big the problem is worldwide. And there's also a huge occupational hazard. So people who are firefighters, policemen, land surveyors, and the Boy Scouts of America.
Steve, how much of your own money do you have invested in
Over
this?
600,000.
Sheesh.
Damn.
Wow.
So what are you selling for? What do they cost you to make?
164 to make, 215 landed, sells for $19.99.
Well, there's some
Wow.
margins there.
70% of our sales this year have been between Amazon and our website, half and half. 15% was wholesale and distribution, and then we also did a flash sale.
If I look
You
you up
really
on
know your stuff.
But this was the first year we went to shows. It was eye-opening. First, it showed us it was a worldwide market. We have 10 shows lined up next year in
But
every
you can't
market.
just do shows. This should be all over social media.
We have about 6,500 followers, but we're getting, almost 1 million impressions a month. We just had a video go viral. It has 7 million views.
Hey, guys, let me get it started. Look, I can't think of anything better in life than starting a business with your daughter.
I get to
Right?
see her all the time.
But let me just tell you guys, wherever there's ticks, I'm going the opposite direction. I'm the tick avoider. It's not a fit for me. Congratulations.
Okay.
I love
Thank
to see it.
Thank
But for
you.
those reasons, I'm out.
Thank you.
And as Mark goes out, I do want to give some input and really kind of correct something that Lori talked about. Now, it can be expensive getting a patent in different countries. Good thing about this is they do have a design and a utility patent, which is great. But with the Europe, for example, with the EU, you can get a European patent, and when you want to validate in those different countries in Europe, it doesn't cost thousands of dollars to validate in each of those countries. That's kind of not how that works. So again, to the extent that they want to get a European patent or EPO with the European Patent Office in addition to the US one, that's not going to go cost thousands of dollars to go to each of those countries. It's going to be a lot less than that to validate it. But yeah, if you go into some of the other countries, Japan, Taiwan, China, it can get kind of costly for that. But again, to the extent that you are trying to get it in different countries in Europe, it's not going to be thousands of dollars per country. So I did want to kind of correct that. Again, man, I love the fact that they have their IP protected, father and daughter duo. Again, hey, you talk about your kid is watching you. It seems like this guy, he was a great entrepreneur, up until this point in time, kind of being able to sell some other businesses, and daughter took after him. Entrepreneur school. Hey, so the apple doesn't fall too far from the tree. So to the extent that, hey, people, I'm saying that to say that we are, our kids are watching us and the things that we do and kind of what we're doing. So if you're an entrepreneur, your kid may be an entrepreneur. If you're a singer, your kid may want to be a singer or an entertainer. So to the extent that you are kind of doing something that's maybe not good, your kid probably is going to indulge in those activities at some point in time. So I do want to point that out because I thought that was interesting. And they're making money, man. For $432,000 lifetime sales as of last year, $252,000 year to date. Seems like they're definitely doing what they're doing. I do think that social media can be a bigger thing for them, but it seems like they are starting to go viral, even though the followers are not a ton. But I do see that picking up as time goes on. I didn't think that Mark would be probably the right investor for this one, but I can definitely see, if I had to guess beforehand, I can see Mr. Wonderful. Although Mr. Wonderful doesn't like the $2 million valuation, I'll probably agree with him, especially at the $450,000 lifetime sales. Maybe not as much Lori. I don't know. This is kind of a guessing game for me. Yeah, it'd be interesting, man. Just the nature of the product. If I had to guess, maybe Mr. Wonderful, but he wouldn't do it at that current valuation. It seems like he's interested in the business. I'm not seeing Lori or Barbara doing it. Maybe Damon. I know he have animals and things like that. So let's kind of see what happens and if the father and daughter duo gets a deal. Let's go.
You must be incredibly proud of her. She's just like, bam, 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 every question, every answer, you know it all. The hard thing for me is my company Bug Bite thing. They want to get into the tick space, and the problem is I have to remain loyal to them. I think you're going to do great, though. I wish you great success, but I'm out.
Thank you. We appreciate it. We understand.
I think it's a great product. I just question how many people are going to actually use it because I forget about all that stuff when I go in the house. So it's just not for me. I'm out.
Okay.
Understand. Thank you.
I'm really a perfect tick girl. I almost lost my son to Lyme disease when he was 2.5.
Wow.
Didn't know what was wrong. High fever, hardly breathing. So I know the dangers of it. I also have had many ticks myself. If I'm not feeling well, I assume I have a tick.
Exactly.
Yes.
Would you take $250,000 for 30%?
Wow.
No, 20.
I think that's a little bit higher than we wanted to go.
Yeah, we would do it for 20.
30. It's a lot of work, let me tell you.
We know.
To get all the deals right at the big box stores, to keep your eye on them, to the chargebacks. It's not satisfying work.
But 30% is too rich for us.
That's a no?
So no.
I would look at this deal, but it's not a company yet, it's a product. And so how do I get my $250 back? I don't want to tie up $250,000 for 10 years while we wait for, Mitt public listing?
I don't want to tie up my money for 10 years.
Okay, I'll make you an offer. You may not like it, but it's the only way I would do this deal. I do the $250 for 20%, $1 a unit as a royalty, so I get some kind of a distribution.
Where does it end? I can't have it in perpetuity. The margins on the distributors would make that too tight.
What about leave the royalty in place until I get back $2 million?
That's an 8-time multiple. That doesn't make sense.
Why not? Makes sense to me.
Of course it does.
Yeah, well, that's
I
why
would invest with you if you gave me that deal.
I mean, look, I've structured zillions of deals like this on single products. And so I would do that deal, $250,000, 20%, $1 a unit, till I make back $2 million.
Thank you, but that won't work for us.
Am I clear in understanding that you weren't interested in my $250
Yeah.
or 30%?
Would you do it for 25%?
No,
We cannot get to 30.
No.
I'm out.
Thank you.
I think these offers reflect how nascent and how early this is.
Maybe we're not telling the story well enough.
No, you
Maybe we
are.
don't fully
I
understand what
believe
the
you
market
are the
is.
tick kings. I really believe that.
It's just we know how much work is involved.
No, I get that.
Okay, well, you don't like my offer, so I understand. You don't have to take it. I'm out.
Good luck, guys.
We appreciate
Thank you
the
guys
offer.
so
Thank
much.
you,
Really
everybody.
appreciate it.
Take care.
Thank you.
we really do understand what we have, and we have the ability to move it forward without them. So giving away that much at this point just did not make sense for us.
Man, shouts out to the father and son duo. Before we pull up the website and see what they have going on, hey, man, I thought that offer by Mr. Wonderful was crazy. I understand the $250,000 for 20%, and even a royalty, especially, like you said, it's more of a product as opposed to a business, and you want to ensure that he gets his money back. But $2 million worth of money getting back, I thought he was going to say, hey, give me my money back plus, say, another $250,000 or whatever the case may be, and that 20% remains there. But he said $2 billion. Hey, you always have to say no at that point. Barb, it seems like they kind of didn't want a 30% on that one. So, no, there you have it there. Let's kind of pull up the website. Let me know, to the extent that you have one of these things, how do you like it? Or as I think what Damon said, hopefully you're not forgetting to use it. Mitt. I actually like the name. Mitt is pretty cool. They're definitely protecting their IP, so shouts out to them on that. The tick protection for people and pets. Got the Mitt. Man, I didn't realize ticks were a big thing like that, but apparently they are. They are. You got the spring showers, the flower power, yellow and green, and 2 adults and 2 kids. Shouts out to them. Let's go down, see if they have the PAM protection or PAM. See, again, they do have patents on this thing. I'm not seeing them at the bottom, which is what where you typically see them. Let me see if I can do a control find. Yeah, I'm not seeing it, man. So that's one of the things that I would say with the website, and also with the Mitt, to put the R in the circle, because it is a registered mark. So I would like for them to put the R in the circle at the end of it, like what we saw for the deviled egg. And again, in addition to that, put the patent number at the bottom, whether it's a design patent or a utility patent. Put people on notice. Let people know that you are protecting your intellectual property, and to the extent that they infringe, then they will have hell to pay. But that's all I have. What do you guys think? I'm still counting, even though they did not accept the offer that was given. They did receive multiple offers. So I'm still say we're 3 for 3. $600,000 that the gentleman spent on this one. I think that's interesting for sure. It seems like a lot of that money went towards not only IP, but also to the tick expert that they consulted with this one. And again, they are kind of generating revenue, which is a good thing. So let me know what you guys think about this one in the comment section, to the extent that you've using this. Do you like it? Do you not like it? How do you like it compared to other options such as the chemicals? Let me know all that information in the comment section. And last but not least, as we get out of here, please hit that like button for the YouTube algorithm. Hit that subscribe button to be a part of the IP community. And last but not least, check out the ebook, Got IP, in the description. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this one. We'll see you guys on the final pitch of this season. Let's go.